Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Objective Viewers portion of the show. And I'm Joe Mauricio. This afternoon, two wonderful ladies from the CSI, the Chicago Sculptor Institute.
International.
Okay, and on my left is no other than Victoria.
I'm
Victoria
Victoria Fuller.
And I'm Jill
and
King.
Jill King from the CSI. And then we're going to be talking about CSI. So, wait, you started, at what age did you start sculpting? And when did you find out that you are a good artist?
Oh, well, I remember when I was maybe 6 or 7 years old, I decorated an Easter egg by adding legs and feet to it, and I made a frog. And so I won a contest. I won an Easter egg contest. And that's when I realized that I might be good at this.
Oh, and the same question goes to you?
Well, when I was very young, I was always digging in the mud in my backyard, in my suburban backyard. And I just loved building up the mud and creating something out of nothing. And eventually, I just kept doing it. I would pick up scraps of garbage off the streets, and a piece of metal would become a body. And it just evolved, and I never stopped. I'm like a kid in the sandbox who never left the sandbox.
Wow. So what a story. But you guys are now with the CSI, the Chicago Sculpture International.
Yes.
But being a member, but you're also women sculptor. What separates you from the guys?
Well, we're very similar in that we have a passion for creating something in 3 dimensions.
Oh yeah, that's my next question.
What's different is, it's been a male-dominated occupation. There are fabulous female sculptors like Lee Bontague or Eva Hess, and they've been a big inspiration to me personally. But it's taken a lot of years for women to get out there and be taken seriously as sculptors, because it was really a male occupation for many, many years.
Are they taking you guys seriously now, or?
Yes, because we take ourselves seriously. We have a real passion for what we do.
Can you talk about the 3-dimensional sculpture?
Yes, when you work in 3 dimensions, you're actually building something out of lots of different materials and manipulating materials. And we take for granted how much sculpture is out there in the universe. When you walk down the street, there's sculpture. You could walk into a corporate building and there's something beautiful hanging from the ceiling. And look at Cloudgate. Do you want to talk about Cloudgate a little bit?
Yes.
Well, Cloudgate is what we call in Chicago affectionately the Bean. And so, without Cloudgate, Millennium Park wouldn't be that interesting. So it actually makes the space, it transforms the space, and it creates interest. And people come there specifically to see Cloudgate. So that's the effect that sculpture has on the public.
What inspired you to create 3-dimensional?
Well, like I said, as a child, I was always like picking up garbage off the streets and reassembling them. I even took my dolls apart and put them back together with Band-Aids, which makes me sound like a lunatic, but basically I just wanted to see what it would look like in a different configuration. And I really feel that, working by building something that's concrete, it feels solid, it feels grounded, and that's why I love sculpture.
Oh my God. Being a member of the CSI, what benefits do you guys get from this organization?
Yeah, I've been in many shows that they have gotten for their members to exhibit in. And I'm in a show right now at Grounds for Sculpture, which is out in Hamilton, New Jersey. And so it gives us many opportunities to exhibit our work. Plus there's education, like this lecture that we're doing is part of the CSI program. And so it benefits members in that there's also resources for members if you need help with finding out where to get materials or how to make something. You can go to CSI to get help.
Okay, the presentation at when is that thing going to be at the cultural center? When and
Well,
give us a date and time.
it debuts Saturday, January 23rd. We have 2 speakers in January, 2 speakers in February, Victoria being one of them, 2 in March and 2 April and 2 in May. So we actually have speakers each month, 1 Saturday a month.
Okay, do you have any future projects that you guys are involved with in Chicago area?
I'm just working on a series of nature-based artwork. I want to do an installation of sea turtle hatchlings, so that's one of my projects coming up.
And I currently live in Evanston, Illinois, and I
Oh,
would...
that's wait. You need a passport to get there.
And I was just asked by the Civic Center of the city of Evanston to create a large hanging suspended sculpture for their stairwell in the Civic Center. So I am beginning by creating a model for that right now.
Do you make the sketches in a large scale or?
Well, I start small scale first, and I usually make a maquette, like a little small model of whatever sculpture I'm going to do. And I have blown up sketches, like for Global Gardens Shovel. I made a really giant one on a giant piece of paper so that I could get the scale of each plant that I was going to do.
Let me ask you this. Being a sculptor, you got to have your idol. Who do you think your idol sculptor? Who is yours?
Constantine Brancusi is one of them. Marcel Duchamp is another one. And Roy Lichtenstein is another one. Or Klaus Oldenburg.
They're all Americans.
No, Oldenburg, isn't he German?
German?
Swedish? He's Swedish, I think.
I think so.
Brancusi is he Italian?
I don't know. We should know these things, but we don't.
How about you? Who's your
I
mentor?
really love Lee Montague. She is an American sculptor who creates these suspended cosmic pieces very similar to mine. And I also really love this new, more contemporary sculptor. Her name is Peta Coyne, and she makes these hanging giant poetic wax.
Yeah.
They're amazing. Yes.
So you guys making money on your creation?
Well, sometimes yes, sometimes no. And when you become a sculptor, you don't do it for the money. You do it for the love of creating and for the passion you have to bring beauty to the world or talk about something that's of interest to you in the world. And it's really a sharing. I commend all artists who stick with it, because it's a sharing experience. It's not an easy living, but it's a way to live life fully.
Great. When you talk about galaxy now, I like to talk about black holes and things like that. How are you going to create something like a black hole?
That's a great question, because that was really my inspiration, was trying to create something that's not tangible, that you can't touch, but we can see images from the Hubble Space Telescope. And but you can't touch it. So I actually wanted to create something tangible from something very intangible.
Wow. Anything?
A black hole? I think I would make a big black hole in the middle of some circular forms, and maybe have these things getting sucked into the black hole.
Well, because of because of Star Wars, I was just thinking that.
Well, you just inspired me now. I want to do a black hole. I want to have like houses and people and cars and getting sucked into that black hole.
Everything's getting swept up.
Okay, my boss is signaling, and any last word for you guys? The presentation on Cultural Center.
The presentation is called Women Sculptors of Chicago, Not for Men Only. It debuts January 23rd at 1 p.m. at the Chicago Cultural Center. And there's one every month till May, so come out and see us.
Okay, and how about you?
Well, my lecture is on February 27th, which is also a Saturday coming up. So coming to see me talk
All
about
right.
my artwork.
All right. Thank you very much for
Thank you.
sharing your Sunday with us, and I hope you guys. I'll follow up on you guys and see
Wow.
how the black holes is shaping up.
Okay.
Thank you very much for
Thank
sharing.
you.
Thanks.
Again, this is Joe Mauricio. Mabuhay.